Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Arif Rima Rahadian with student ID number 2024 107. In this video, I will be presenting my practical report for the network security course, specifically on the topic of firewall and access control list or ICL. This practical session was carried out using Cisco Packet Tracer as the simulation environment. The main objective was to configure and test an extended ACL on a Cisco router to control traffic between two separate network segments. And then let me walk you through the entire process from the network topology all the way to the testing results. And let me start by explaining the network topology used in this practical session. The topology consists of two separate network segments connected through a single router, which is router 0. The first segment is network A, using the subnet 192.186.1.0 and prefix 24. Inside this segment, there are two client PCs. First is a PC0 with the IP address 192.186.1 and 2, and PC1 with the IP address 192.186.1 and 3. Both of these devices are connected to switch 0, which then connects to the router's fast Ethernet 0/0 interface. That interface is configured with the IP address 192.186.1 and 1. It acting as the default gateway for all hosts in the network A. And then the second segment is network B, using the subnet 192.186, 186, 2, and 0, and then prefix 24. The segments contain server 0 with the IP address 192.186.2 and 2, which acts as a web server. And then PC2 with the IP address 192.186.2 and 3 as an additional client. Both devices connect through switch 1, which links to the routers. Fast Ethernet 1/0 interface, configured with the IP address 192.186.2 and 1 as the default gateway for a network B. Router 0 sits in the middle and handles all inter-segment traffic, because every packet traveling between network A and network B must pass through this router. It becomes the most strategic point to apply the ACL. We can inspect and filter every packet before it gets forward to the other segment. And then now let me explain the first step of the configuration, which is setting up the router interfaces. I start by entering privilege XC mode using the enable command. Then move into global configuration mode with conf-t. From there, I configure both fast Ethernet interfaces. Fast Ethernet 0/0 was assigned the IP address 192.186.1 and 1 with a subnet mask of 200, 55, 255 to 55 and 0, serving as the gateway for network A. Fast Ethernet 1/0 was assigned 192.186 2 and 1 with the same subnet mask, serving as the gateway for network B. One important thing to note here is that by default, interfaces on Kisco iOS are in an administratively down state. So I had to run the no shutdown uh, command on both interfaces to bring them up. The system confirmed this with a line protocol up message for both fast Ethernet 0/0 and fast Ethernet 1/0, which means the interfaces were active and ready to forward traffic. At this one, the two network assigned network segments could communicate with each other freely through the router. Uh, then the next step was to apply the ACL to restrict certain traffic. Next, I configure the extended ACL with the number 101. The reason I use extended ACL instead of standard ACL is because of the level of granularity needed in the scenario. Standard ACL can only filter traffic based on the source IP address. It cannot differentiate between protocols or destination ports. Extended ACL, on the other hand, allows filtering based on multiple parameters at once, including source IP, destination IP, protocol type, and port number. This level of control is exactly what we need here. SCL 101 was built with two rules that work sequentially. The first rules deny SMP echo packets from the specific host 192, 186, 1, and 2, which is a PC0. uh, which is a PC0 direct to the host 192, 186, 2, and 2, which is server 0. By specifying the echo network, the echo keyword, this rule on targets ping request, not all ICMP traffic. This means only PC0 lost the ability to ping server 0. Other hosts in network A are completely unaffected. The second rule is permit IP any. The rule is critical. On Kisco iOS, every ACL has an implicit deny all the very end. If no explicit permit is written at any traffic that doesn't match, the deny rule will also be blocked automatically. So by adding this permit rule, we make sure that all other traffic from PC1, PC2, and any other host continues to flow normally. The command used were access list 101 deny SMP host 192, 186, 1 and 2 host 182, 186, 2 and 2 echo, and then access list 101 permit IP any. After this defining the SCL, the next step was applying it to the correct interface. What the correct direction? I applied SCL 101 to interface fast Ethernet 0/0 in the inbound direction using the command IP access group 101 in. The choice of inbound on P0/0 is technically logical. Packets from PC0 enter the router through this interface. So by applying the SCL here, the router checks every incoming packet before making any routing decision. This is more efficient than playing it outbound because at the packet, gets dropped at the entry point before the router wastes any processing resource on a routing lookup for a packet that was going to be rejected anyway. It's also worth noting that an SEL has no effect until it's bound to interface with a specified direction. Defining the SEL in a global configuration only creates the rules only create the rules. It doesn't activate any filtering until this IP access group command is applied. With the SEL in place, I move on the first round of testing using ICMP packets. For this test, I use the simple video feature in Kisco Packet Tracer instead of the CLI ping command. This feature allows sending ICMP packets manually between devices and shows that result directly in the PDO this window, making it easier to observe which packets succeed and which ones fail. I sent 5 ICMP packets with the different source and destination combination. Here are the results. Packet number 0 from PC0 to PC2 again show successful. The same pattern appeared for server 0. Packet number 0 packet number 3 was failed and packet number 4 was successful. Now this might seem surprising at first. Why did the first packet to PC2 and server 0 fail? If ACL 101 only blocks ICMP to server 0 from passenger 0, the answer is a RP solution. When a packet is sent for the first time, the router and switch need to map the destination IP address to MSC addresses through the RP process. The RP table is empty at the start, so the first packet typically fails. Once the ERP table is populated, subsequent packets go through normally. Packet number 2 uh, from PC0 to PC1 was successful because both devices are in the same segment. Network A with subnet uh, 192, 196, 10, and prefix 24. Traffic between them doesn't pass through the router at all, so SEL 101 is never involved. Overall, this test confirmed that the routing between segments was working correctly and that SEL 101 was properly attached to FA 0/0 inbound. In the next phase, I extended ACL 101 by adding a second deny rule to block HTTP traffic on TCP port 80 from PC0 to server 0. The reason for adding this rule is straightforward. HTTP runs on top of TCP and use port 80 as its standard communication port. By specifically blocking TCP port 80 from host 192, 186 to 1 and 2 to host 192, 186 to and 2, I'm cutting off PC0 access to the web service running on server 0 without affecting any other protocol that might still be needed. The update SEL configuration is access list 101 denied ICMP host 192, 186, 1 and 2, host 192, 186, 2 and 2 echo. Then access list 101 deny TCP host, TCP host 192, 186, 186, 1 and 2, host 192, 186, 2 and 2, EQ active. Access list 101 permit IP any. Then there's also an important technical note here. During this configuration session, the command no access list uh, no access list 101 permit IP any was executed on Kisco iOS Classic. This command doesn't just remove that one line, it removes the entire SEL 101. This is a known behavior of numbered SELs on Kisco iOS. You cannot delete a single entry, the entire list gets wiped. After that, the deny SCMP rule was re-entered as the starting point for a fresh structure SEL rebuild. This experience highlights something important when working with number SELs on Kisco iOS. Any modification to rule ordering requires you to delete the entire list and rewrite it from scratch. And then, alright, to the test HTTP blocking, I use the web browser feature available on the desktop tab of each PC in Kisco Packet Tracer. This method is more realistic than PDU testing because it simulates actual web browsing behavior. The client sends an HTTP request over TCP port 80 and waits for a response. I test from two different devices, which is PC0 and which is the block host, and PC2, which is not in any deny rule. Starting with PC0 with IP 192.168.1 and 2. Attempt to access server 0 at URL HTTP 192.168.2 and 2. The result was requires timeout message in the browser window. This means the HTTP request never reached server 0. To understand why the browser shows a timeout rather than an immediate error, we need to look at how TCP works. Before any HTTP can be sent, a three-way handshake must be complete. First is SYN ACK, then ACK. When PC0 sends its SYN packet destined for port 80 on server 0, that packet arrives at router interface FA0/0. The second rule in SEL 101 deny TCP host 192, 186, 168, 1 and 2. Host 192, 168, 2 and 2. EQ active. Match the packet and drops it immediately. Then the handshake never completes. The browser receives no response. And after the timer expires. It displays request timeout. Now from PC2 with IP 192, 168, 2 and 3 access the same URL HTTP 192, 168, 2 and 2 and successfully loaded the web page showing the title Kisco Packet Tracer along with several quick links. PC2 success because both PC2 and server 0 are in the same segment network B. Subnet 192.186 to N0 and prefix 24, their traffic never pass through router 0. Since ACL 101 is applied on FA0/0, which is the interface facing network A. Communication within the network B is completely outside the scope of this ACL. Based on all the testing results, ACL 101 demonstrate selective and precise filtering behavior. The concept of sequential matching played a major role here. The router evaluates each packet against the rules in ACL 101 from top to bottom. The moment of matching rule is found, that action is executed and the process stops. This is why rule order matters so much. If the permit IPNNI had been placed before the deny rules, every packet would have matched it first and none of the deny rules would ever be reached. The implicit deny mechanism also proved its importance. Without the explicit permit IPNNI at the end of SEL 101, all traffic that didn't match the deny rules would have been silently dropped, including traffic from PC1 and PC2 that should have been allowed. Adding that permit rules what was not optional. It was necessary to preserve normal network functionality. The inbound placement of on FA0/0 also contribute to efficiency by blocking unwanted packets at the entry point. The router never expended additional processing on routing lookups for packets that were going to be dropped anyway. In summary, the combination of correct rule definition, correct rule ordering, and correct interface placement made ACL 101 function exactly as intended. That concludes the presentation of my practical report on firewall and access control list. Through this session, I was able to implement and verify an extended ACL on a Kisco packet tracer, successfully blocking specific ICMP and HTTP traffic from PC0 to server 0 while keeping normal communication intact for all other hosts. And then that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and I hope this presentation was clear and informative. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.